Burnout, they call it, and this is one of these expressions that's a bit unclear, really not, but it has been used to describe so many different unrelated things that it has like lost contact with its actual definitions, and there are actually some things not completely sorted out, because in the English speaking world there's this term occupational burnout. As far as I know, you wouldn't use burnout independently. It's supposed to be caused by work-related stuff. While in Sweden there is, can you imagine Sweden? There is nothing called occupational burnout. It's burnout, plain burnout, and this is not considered being psychiatric condition. And I don't know if they both refer to the same condition while having different ways looking on things, or if this specific kind of burnout is supposed to be psychiatric nature. Either way, in this case it's a good old Swedish burnout, and not labeling, not classifying it as psychiatric is actually very relevant, because even though you may see some very striking similarities to all kinds of psychiatric conditions, they are really very much different. What they are caused by. Psychiatric conditions begins within yourself, and burnouts, just like PTSD, they come with external stuff, and also they are not about emotions or mental things, your relation to, or your way of relating to things, but in fact very much more cognitive and perceptive, I should say. So to make a comparison, this one burnout is very easily confused with, for example, depression. However, like I said, this has nothing to do with feelings, because you will still have your passions burning as ever before, your lust, your eagerness, curiosity. It's just that you can't. You will not get the pieces together. Simple actions like getting out of bed. This may actually be a problem with when I'm suffering from some kind of depression too. But then it's more like, yeah, it's damn meaningless. What's the point? And nobody likes me after all. A burnout, and it's, well, I really would like to make a trip to whatever, this museum, or take a walk out in the wilderness or something, and the whole thing is like fragmented. Yeah, what should I do before going out? What will I be needing? And you start smurfing around and dealing with things, and then you're on your way, and there's always something that you have forgotten, and you need to go back, and when actually there you have forgotten what you had forgotten, but your attention is attracted to something else. You know, because you can't really keep things together, and the result of this is, in the end, you get nothing done, not even the fun stuff, which would be healing. It is. That's part of the treatment, doing things that active rest, things you enjoy, and so far in a way rather pleasant. You might at some occasions, like this one mentioned, confuse it with some obsessive compulsive thing, because this, yeah, did I turn the coffee machine off? Yeah, I did. No, I did not, did I? And you need to go back and check, and each time your attention is carried away by something else, and you need to go back again. Yeah, seems like some kind of obsession. No, really, because being obsessive, then knowing that you actually did turn this one off, and nevertheless you need to check, because emotions are telling you something else, or telling you not to trust yourself or whatever. But in this case, it's rather the contrary. You really have not turned the machine off, and you need to go back and check for reasons 12 times, and still, when actually get going and get out doing whatever you were aiming for, still have not turned this one off. And then after a while you became hesitant, because for this very reason I don't feel like I'm worried about doing things, because I never know what things I may have forgotten, and all things that you set yourself to doing will take months of planning, because at every single occasion you might perhaps only have 10 or 20 minutes of dealing with things. Then the fuses start blowing. In some cases, I have no idea if I've been there, might actually appear as some kind of psychosis. Still, even in this case, it's very much different, because psychosis is an overloaded reward system. This is reward system not working at all. There is no production whatsoever of dopamines. You can't get anything together. It's not like an explosion, it's an implosion. The pressure comes from the outside, and you can't get yourself to, you can't summon the power, the energy required to meet this, to just collapse under this weight. And when you really need to focus upon things, then here comes this confusion. It's like when imagine your car, the motor dying on the railroad tracks, and you know that you can't stay there. How do you do it? And then using the starter engine, you just turn the key 5 times, get yourself all the way over, having gear shifter on first gear instead of 3, and that way every impulse will get you some half meter or something. This is similar. You will need to provoke these amounts of epinephrine instead, to scare yourself to doing things, and then having done so, you have worn yourself out even more, and things will, the overall condition will become worse, and if nothing else, you will be quite a bit exhausted after having done this. At these occasions when you really expose your brain to this kind of treatment, this kind of abusing, I should say, and when trying to get those pieces together, single pieces, then you will likely appear almost as borderline psychotic or something, because you're with some differences. You will not, in these cases, mix reality with the completely unrealistic. Might perhaps be unreal, but not imaginary, supernatural things, which may be the case with an actual psychosis. The problem with this is that there are still all these things that need to be handled, and you might actually only have some 20 minutes a day of actual functioning, and to make priorities what's most important of this itself will drain you. So just while your brain is awake for a few minutes, go ahead and do something, because in half an hour or 20 minutes sometimes you crash again, and no matter how you try, you will never in fact manage to do even all those most emergent things, and you will piss people off and you will get yourself into trouble either way. So fuck the whole thing, and carry me all the way to hell, Lord of the Skies.